Episode 64, Humor in Video Games.
Thank you. It's great to be here tonight, talking about one of my favorite things, video games. You know, video game culture has really taken off in recent years. And it's not just for nerds anymore. I mean, have you seen the prize pools for esports tournaments? These gamers are making bank. But there's something inherently funny about video games. I mean, think about it. We spend hours and hours sitting in front of a screen, mashing buttons, and yelling at virtual characters. And for what? So we can level up and get some imaginary reward? And don't even get me started on the weird names for things in video games. Like, why do we have to call them healing potions? Why not just say band-aids or first aid kits? And what's with all the power-ups? Is that like a magical energy drink? And let's talk about the gamers themselves. You know the type. They're always talking about their kills and their high scores like they just won the lottery. And don't even think about interrupting them while they're in the middle of a game. You might as well be trying to talk to a brick wall. But you know what's really funny about video games? The glitches. You're playing a game and suddenly your character starts flying through the air or walking through walls. It's like the game is saying nope, sorry, you're not supposed to be here. And then you're stuck trying to restart the whole thing. But despite all the quirks and glitches, I love video games. They provide an escape from reality and a chance to connect with people all over the world. And hey, if I can't be a hero in real life, at least I can be one in a video game. Thanks for letting me share my love for video games with you tonight. So, video game culture. It's a strange and fascinating world, isn't it? I mean, where else can you spend hours on end staring at a screen, eating junk food, and ignoring all of your real-life responsibilities without being judged? But seriously, video games are a huge part of modern culture. They're everywhere. And what's funny is that even people who don't play video games seem to have opinions on them. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be talking to someone and they'll say something like, I don't understand why anyone would waste their time playing video games. And you're like, excuse me, Karen, but I just spent 4 hours saving the world from an alien invasion. What did you do today? But let's be real, video game culture can also be pretty weird. I mean, have you ever been to a gaming convention? It's like a whole other planet. You've got people dressed up in costumes, carrying around foam swords, and yelling things like, for the Alliance. Or the cake is a lie. And you're just standing there like, what is happening right now? And don't even get me started on the online gaming community. It's like the Wild West out there. You've got people screaming into their microphones, sending hateful messages, and just generally being toxic. And then you've got the hackers. The people who cheat in online games just for the sake of ruining other people's fun. It's like, congratulations, you're the king of a fake world. How's that working out for you? But despite all of that, I still love video game culture. There's something so satisfying about overcoming a tough boss, or finally completing a game you've been working on for weeks. And honestly, I think video games have taught me some valuable life lessons. Like, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Or, if you're facing a tough challenge, maybe you just need to level up first. So in conclusion, video game culture is simultaneously bizarre and wonderful. And if you'll excuse me, I need to go save the Mushroom Kingdom. Thanks for listening. You know, video game culture is a funny thing. We spend hours upon hours sitting in front of our screens, taking on virtual challenges and fighting imaginary battles. And yet, when we finally put down the controller, we act like we've just accomplished something incredible. I beat the boss. I saved the world. And then we realize that we've just wasted an entire weekend. But seriously, there's a lot of humor to be found in video game culture. Take the fact that gamers will spend hundreds of dollars on the latest gaming equipment, but will balk at the idea of paying for a 99-cent app. Or the way we talk to our screens, as if the game can hear us. Come on, man. That's not fair. As if the game is capable of feeling remorse. And let's not forget the ridiculous names we come up with for our online personas. I mean, who hasn't come across someone named XXX Killer 420XXX in a game? What's the deal with that? Are they trying to intimidate their opponents, or do they just want to look cool to their friends? But there's one thing that really gets me about video game culture, and that's the way we treat our in-game achievements like they actually matter. I mean, I've seen people post screenshots of their high scores or rare loot drops, and act like they've just won an Olympic medal. It's like, dude, nobody cares except for you and your mom. And don't even get me started on the debates about which console is the best. It's like arguing about which flavor of ice cream is the best. It's all subjective, people. But I guess that's just part of the fun of video game culture. In conclusion, video game culture is a hilarious and sometimes absurd thing. But at the end of the day, we all just want to have some fun and escape from reality for a little while. So let's continue to embrace our inner gamers, and maybe one day we'll even be able to convince our non-gamer friends that we're not just wasting our time. Thanks, folks.
And that wraps up another laughter-filled episode of Not So Funny A. If you enjoyed the jokes generated by our AI algorithms, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our comedy-loving community.